Speaker today is Uma Mayappan. She is an innovation technology leader who has led large-scale initiatives. Her out-of-the-box thinking and curiosity has led her to fetch over 25 approved patents from USPO, which led her to be inducted into Wells Fargo's Innovation Hall of Fame. So please welcome Uma Mayappan as she talks about how she climbed the technology ladder.
Hey, Meghna, can you share her profile, please? We had it in the last slide. I don't know, we stopped the sharing. Can you please share? Yeah. So there she is. Welcome, Uma. And the girls are all excited to hear you talk. Especially you speak to them very directly and very relevant because that's what all these girls are aiming for. All these girls are aiming for getting into the technology field and rising up. So definitely your title, Climbing the Technology Ladder in Heels, is going to speak to them directly. Welcome, Uma.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been so wonderful. And there cannot be a much better Saturday morning to start off the day or a weekend, seeing a lot of angles from around the world. And I'm so thrilled. And thanks for the opportunity to talk to you all. So this is good. I've been listening to many of you and Sock, and you brought out the momentum and enthusiasm. So hooray to you. Continue to do that, because that's a very key component on it, on whenever you do, any part of the thing. So the positivity that you spread to everyone, it's going to be key, not just in technology, but throughout in life. So that's kind of like a side note. I thought I should call you out. But other than that, it's really great to see this many participants and all of you. Ansh and Meghna, you guys are doing really great. And one thing I wanted to tell all the participants is you're all so, it is so nice that you're all taking the first initiative on trying out something new, which is really good. And you should all be really, thankful to Shooting Stars Foundation. The foundation has done a lot, which I think it's a great opportunity, providing a platform for all of you and all of you utilizing it. So it goes both ways. One needs to provide a platform and the others need to utilize it, or else it will not be as effective as it is. So just hang on to it and just keep going with how much ever you could learn and use from this. And I am so thrilled. So let me start off with telling you guys a little bit about, sorry, when I say guys, I always mean, both boys and girls. It is just a slang that comes in, and I did not mean guys by that. So it is, first of all, everybody thinks of it as, hey, how do is technology really different? Or right now we are at a very good place in the world, or at the time of an age where technology has grown so much. And also we as women are in a place that we are not the first one to go knock on every door. We are already at a place where there is a lot of floors that has been open for us. The only thing is we need to just jump into it and make use of it and go. There used to be times where, I'm the only one in my class, only girl in my class, or I'm the only developer in a particular company, or I'm the only one in a meeting room. But now all of those are not true anymore. But just because it's not true, we are not equal. And also the number of equality varies widely across different countries in the world. In some, it might be, the number might be slightly larger. In some, the number might be smaller. But the good news is it's not 0 or it's not 1. We are up there, but we are not equal is the truth. And as you might have all seen, or I'm not sure how many of you heard, but there is a thing that the people always say: close your eyes and visualize someone who is like an architect, systems architect doing deep computer designs. And people will all close the eyes, and then, if it is an open forum, I would have asked you to answer it. But now, since we are in a time crunch, I'm just going to answer it myself. People would say, oh, I imagine like a man with a beard or something, with a like a drink in the hand, and trying to code. But those days are gone. Now everybody are in the forefront, and everybody are doing things totally. It's not that man figure anymore. So it is, everybody is in the front line. So that is the cool thing about it. But as I said, are we equal in the number? We are not. So a lot of students start studying math. They're really, really good. So if you see it in elementary school, girls always top the class. But then as you grow higher, they become equal. And then as you get into college or undergrad or masters, the number starts reducing. But when you get into workforce, there's a lot of people in the first level, like, okay, I want to be a developer. I want to be a mathematician. I want to be all of that. So in the first level, there's a lot of people that enter, and then gradually it stops. But why is that? I mean, girls have a natural thing. Yes, we are the primary caregivers at home, which you should all not think of it as a negative aspect, but it is a positive aspect. You are all born to be and you are all born to do multiple things and be able to balance things at the same time. So you're gifted. So go through and take that as a positive attitude, and also get help. Getting help is the best thing. We cannot just do everything on our own. So a lot of the times, what people in different culture, like I'm born and brought up in India. So we were all brought up with the mentality that, yes, you need to respect elders. You need to listen to your teachers. You need to listen to your parents. You need to listen to elders, and don't question. And which is a good thing, but it also, I'm sure across the world, when I live here in the United States now, and the culture and it is slightly different than what it used to be, which is a good positive thing. But across the world, not everybody gets it. And now, since I see people from multiple different countries here, you would all have your own native, culture and disadvantages that it brings, but try to make it positive. And you all can. That's the key message to it. And also, we are, as I said, we are not in a place where we are not the first ones. We are also in a place where technology is not in its nascent time. Technology has grown really, really well. Before, there used to be humongous computers, one computer in the size of a big room, and people have to go in, and they used to do punch cards. And and the processes were slow, or it keeps progressing. Now you can do things in a flash. Think of it. Could we have imagined that all of us in this many countries talking to in a single forum like that without technology? All of these are not possible. So technology has helped us, but how do we make use of that and move forward in our personal lives, in our career, professional lives, and for the betterment of the world, right? So how do we all use it? So that's where it is really key for all of you to come in and seize the opportunity that is there. I talked about how I kind of grew up, but also when I started early on. I studied computer science engineering, like many people here that are in the United States right now. I started working, and I came here and started working as a developer. That is, and after that, you go into multiple different paths. And I don't want to confine this conversation only around computer science and development and then moving around. But think of it, STEM is such it constitutes of science. People in deep researchers, biologists, chemists and physicists who are, but right now there are women going to the space And we do know many women that are working and going to the space and coming back. So keep your vision and keep your aims really, really high in all of these fields, whether it is in deep science, whether it is in technology, or you could even do hardcore engineering. When I say hardcore engineering, like mechanical engineering, that I can totally say when I studied in my engineering days, there were a lot of women, a lot of girls in all the different practices of engineering. But when it comes to civil or mechanical engineering, it'll be probably no one or maybe one or two of them, because it was, but now I hear that's not the case. The numbers have increased. How many of you like riding a bullet bike than compared to, oh, I have to be doing just the specific girly activity. So don't get caught into that. I'm a girl, I need to study this, and I don't separate it as you can only go into a certain field. And I was talking about specifically on technology. Now I wanted to tell you all about a couple of the, or probably you might have heard it, but if you have not, let's talk a little bit about the newer technology and the innovations that are in there. All of you know we can do anything in our hands with a mobile device, right? Like a phone. I want to take you all back to fantasy times. I'm sure you would have all heard different kinds of fantasy stories. Like there is the story, one of the old ones, which is the girl stands in front of the mirror, and I think it's the Beauty and the Beast. So she would ask, "Oh, mirror, mirror, tell me who's the beautiful woman in the world," or anything like that. And at that time, people, when I saw it when I was young, I used to think, oh, how knowledgeable is that mirror? How is it even possible? Is that magic? Is it gimmick or any of those, right? So, but if you think of it, it is not fantasy, it is not magic, it's not gimmick anymore. Today, you can totally do that. You get a phone in your hand and you ask anything to the phone, and you get the answer instantly. So technology has grown into that particular level that you can get anything at your fingertips. And what is the technology that goes behind it? Within the phone, there is every single emerging technology that you can think of. I'll talk a few more one by one in that. So it is all about artificial intelligence, and people think, okay, what is AI? Is that a big word? What is it? It as someone taking somebody's brain and putting it inside. Artificial intelligence is nothing but you're training a computer to do certain things that human beings can do. When you look at, if you start saying, hey, when you look at a dog, you can totally say that's a dog. But if you started describing something that has 4 legs, something that has a tail, something that has a ear, why can't it be a cat? Why can't it be, even an elephant or anything like that? But human brains are trained to you record the cognitive skills, and the human brain is trained to recognize it. The same thing is being imparted in computers try to catch it, and we try to train. We are the ones who train the computer back to help us. So the computers are for the artificial intelligence is for us to. It is we are training them so it can help us and make our lives much better. And look at some of the things that goes in. And I wanted to tell you all another interesting story as when I came into this country, which is a long time now. In India, we used to, if I have to go somewhere, we'll get the address from the person, and then we would just, this is the time that I grew up. I'm not talking about the current days. So we will start driving or going there, and then towards that direction, and oh, we are lost, or we don't know how to proceed. So we'll stop the car right wherever in the middle of the road, and then call someone on the side and say, hey, I'm trying to go to this place. which direction should we go? So they'll say, oh, you just go straight and make a left or something for some time, and then you can ask someone there. And we would just go, and there's nothing wrong about it. It used to be, and we used to be from in that perspective. And when I came to this country, I was like thrown into a shock. Like, you cannot stop the car in the middle of the road, or you cannot ask anyone. What the heck? So how do we even go? We used to have paper maps. So before you leave the house, you would have to take the paper maps and draw it out and figure out every single point, turn this, that, and get the whole thing going and then go. But now, as Gen Z kids, all of you around all these countries, you would think, what is she talking about? Is she talking about ancient times? But that's how it was 20 years back. So, but now with the help of technology and with the help of the phone, with all the GPS technology, you just put the address, you know exactly where to go, and it takes you. So you are in the, again, I want to reiterate that you are in a place where you're blessed with the technology has grown and it is helping you a lot. So make use of it. Oh, I'm reiterating that. Similarly, I don't know how many of you have heard or looked or experienced something called virtual reality. Virtual reality is you're in the present world, which is the reality, which is the normal real world, right? So you move into an imaginary world. If you want to go into an imaginary world, and then so you wear a device, so you don't see anything, like I don't see the computer in front of me or my phone here or the notebook here or anything like that. So I'm in a new world, and then I can, and then there are things that are in there. So most of you would associate virtual reality with games, and games is a natural common thing that comes in, and you are inside. You're not playing a game outside looking at the board, but you're in there and playing it. Virtual reality has grown out of games, and it has been used a lot in it. It started getting into tourism industry. Like, for example, I'm sitting here. I want to know how is Eiffel Tower in Paris. I've never been there or anything like that. So if I put it in, I can see. Oh, but I've never, personally, I'm like, oh, I really want to go to like Philippines or Thailand or anywhere and want to see all the beautiful architecture, beaches and other things there. So I if you don't have the time and money and other things to go, you can really visualize things. And how cool is that? But how does it all happen? The technology is there, but we can find so many uses to it. And who's going to make it? People like you. So now it's not just in the tourism industry or the game industry. This is used for so many different aspects of it, where you can really bring life to things that you cannot really go in and imagine. You can really do those things. So make use of all the different things that are available and create an interest. And all of you girls are too young, so don't hone into just one specific area right now. Just keep your eyes open and look at that. There is so many things that are available, and you can try out many things and try out for a few more years. And at that point, you will naturally know that you're starting to like a particular field or a particular type of work or particular thing, and then you keep progressing. Do not stop yourself for anything or for anyone. I'm going to talk to you guys specifically about key things that you need to keep working, whether you're in school, whether you're in college or at workplace, and all of these. So oftentimes, the first thing I'm going to say is don't assume anything. The big mental block that girls have is, oh, can I do it? Maybe I cannot. I'm not going to even try it. So don't do that. Don't assume. That is definitely the number one thing. Try it out. You never know that. Even you won't know that if you can do it or not. So, but you might have the great potential. How many of you thought that you would be, getting into a hackathon and sitting in and doing? So do not assume anything. Just try it out. If you fail, so what? It's okay. And don't think of it as a failure. So don't assume. try out something, and you will always have some sort of learning from trying out. So that's my number one. And number two, I want to tell you is always raise your hand. Whether you know it or not, just say, raise your hand and say, I can do it, or I want to do it. I want to participate on that. There's so many statistics that's in, especially in the corporate world, not just in technology, but in general. Women won't apply for a job if they don't think, if there are 10 requirements of qualifications needed for a job, if they don't check off all the 10, women will not apply. Whereas a guy, even if they know 4 or 5 out of the 10, they'd be like, yep, I'm ready, I'm applying. Why is that? Why are they so confident? And why are you girls not able to come on? But it's getting better. It will get even better with people like you trying to push and move forward. So, just go ahead. And also in a company, if there is an open position and if people are trying to pick the next leader or pick the next one for promotion or something like that, just raise your hand and say, yes, I can do it. Don't wait for somebody to come in and call your name. You might be as good, but still you need to market yourself. You need to advertise yourself. I'm sure you're all doing that really good in Instagram or Facebook or any of that, right? So we all feel good. When you post something and when somebody likes it, you feel good. It's the same thing. Just translate that into your real life too. Just take that same concept and say, I know it, I'm good at it, let me give it a try. Yes, you would do things, and in some cases you would excel and do extremely well. In some cases, there might be some learning opportunities. So think of that as learning opportunity, not as a failure. So the second thing I would say is always raise your hand. The third one I'm going to tell you is one cannot do it all, right? So I cannot do anything by myself. We all need, if I'm walking, if I'm doing it by myself, I can only go so far. But if I get help from my parents, teachers, mentors, or other foundations, anybody, you could go a long way. So the third one is networking. Know as many people as you can. So whether it's from a friend circle, and the networking circle will vary based on your age and based on what you know. So when you're in high school, you try to know so many of your peer group, teachers, and other mentors and others who can help you. When you're at a workplace, when you're starting to work, you would start connecting with your peers. You would start connecting with your management layer up. And when I say no, it's not just you knowing their name, it is them knowing you as well. And also don't stop like at, I just know their name and that's enough. You really need to make a connection. But to make a connection, it needs efforts. Like you're all here today in a hackathon, which is great. But at the end of the hackathon, try to make at least 4 or 5 good friends. Always have that in a goal. You're going to a party, you're going to an event, you're going to, like a workshop or anything. Can I really know a few people? And don't just stop there as a one-way thing, because when you know people, you can reach out to them later. And similarly, when they reach out to you, you try to lend a hand too. So it goes both ways. So you try to network. So the third thing is really network and expand your circle, so which will come a long way for you. And when you do all of that, always think of it as you're getting this benefit today, so you're going to pay it forward later. Like you have an awesome platform today that you're all coming in and learning something new. So come back after you're a little mature, a little grown up, when you can give back to such. So there's a quote that I love, and I always say this wherever I talk, is there's a person named Madeleine Albright. She's a U.S. Senate person, and she said there is a special place in hell for women who don't help each other. I say that all the time. I love it. There's a special place in hell for the women who don't help each other. So if you get help, if you are getting help from someone today, keep that. You're not going to help the same person back, but you're going to help somebody else. So you should. I look at life as an elevator. So you go up in the elevator and then you send the elevator down, so you can bring somebody up along with you. And as you go higher, you keep pulling people up. So it feels good. It will feel good. You will grow, and you'll help others grow as well. So and that is really, and especially in technology and in specific things where you get so bogged down, that's where your networking and your mentor group and others can come in and help you and be open. So think of all the things, the tips, and there's many more, and we can keep talking for the whole day on these. But I thought I'll just quickly leave you guys with these pointers. And good luck to everyone on the hackathon. And you have an amazing panel of like mentors and coaches lined up, an exciting team. So think of it, future women. What would you want? Won't you want everything at your finger snap? But how can you make that happen? It's not like somebody going to pop up and give it all to the future women. It is you who are the future woman who is going to make the future work. So think from that perspective. Use this opportunity. And go creative and explode and have fun today and create something magical. And I would love to come and see the remaining ones. If I have time, I'll participate tomorrow. But if not, I will look at that and be happy to give feedback and things like that. So with that, good luck to all of you. And, anyone has any questions, welcome to reach out. And over to you, Lata.
Over to you, Meghna.
Thank you so much for your amazing keynote speech. I really loved listening to it. Sak, do you have anything to say?
Okay, so maybe just a quick recap, of a few great things that we've heard from Uma. Okay, so you've heard, the 3 tips, which I really posted in the chat for everyone to really remember. So I guess you can just go back to that, in just quickly to recap that, tip number 1, do not assume. Try it out, guys. Try it out, okay? Do not judge your ideas yourself or what. Just try it out. Just keep trying, okay? And then the number 2 tip was always raise your hand, right? Raise your hand, be it, you have a question, all right, or you're doubting or what, but just go ahead and give it a try. And then the last tip from Uma is that networking. That's very, very important, guys. No one is an island, as we say, right? You have to make connections. You have to build relationships. So you go beyond just knowing the names. You have to know the people in your team. Okay. And maybe, I want to pound on, when I heard that, the quote that Uma shared, I really was scared. And I hope all of the women in this room will remember that, okay? That there's a special place in hell for women who don't help others. Okay, and I'm sure no one in this room wants to be in that special place. Even if it's special, I don't want to be in that place, right, Uma?
That's
okay.
Right.
Lastly, all right, this is great. How can you make the future women happen? And I love what Uma said, that it is you. And when I say you, every girl in this room who will make the future work. Okay, so go be creative, as she said. Have fun. Do not forget that part. It's all about having fun, right? And then create something magical. Okay? Thank you, everyone. And thanks, Uma. That was
excellent. Excellent, Uma. Excellent. Very, very nice to hear from you. You gave the you spoke to them. I think some kid has written heart to heart, right? I mean, you really, went to them, spoke to what they believe in, what they can do. And I'm pretty sure I think about 88 girls participating today, Meghna, and about 600 kids who have already, registered, and they're waiting for the next hackathon. So I think all of them are going to get inspired by your speech, and really would love for you to come tomorrow and see how it went. And we'll definitely keep you notified. But this is an amazing speech. Really want, in fact, in the survey after the hackathon, we usually ask for feedback. So we're definitely going to ask, what is the one thing from Uma's speech that these kids are going to take on and follow? Just one thing from your speech, and you will love to hear it back from us.
Totally,
But
yes.
this has been very nice. Thank you. And go hackathon participants, we're all waiting. Meghna, what is the next logistics?
So now you guys should probably meet up with your teams and decide what you guys want to do next. As Ansh mentioned before.
So let me go ahead and just show one thing real quick. Thank you so much, Shubha. That was a very, very nice speech. Could you enable screen sharing or just make me co-host?
So did you get inspired, Ansh, as a guy?
Oh, I got very inspired.
and give some kudos to Ansh for being the single man in front of in the middle of everyone. So
and yeah. I mean, he actually had great ideas on the future women. He's been ideating with all the teams for the future women. That's the last. I mean, I don't know if it's the last thing, but that's something that you work with men, right? There's so many men who support women, so it's okay. They can also be in our world.
And men has to be the great ally for all of us. So again, women cannot raise on their own, but it's a collaboration. So yes, kudos to you, Ansh, on that.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you guys.
ahead,
I'm going to leave you
thank
all.
You. Thank you, Uma. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, the rest of you, Ansh, want to?
Yeah.